They've spent $100 million on negative advertising. They have blasted Trump with everything they've got. They have said he's a horrible person. They've had all these quotes that make him look silly. And they have poured the advertising on while he hasn't spent much of anything. And now after Labor Day, guess what? Trump is in the lead, according to a CNN poll. Other polls, he's up by a couple of points. Whereas before, Hillary Clinton had about a 14-point lead, and it looked like a sure thing. Now, that race is so close, they say it's within the margin of error, but they're beginning to question this coughing. People are really focusing on this coughing. She says it's allergies. Is it allergy? Is it a thyroid condition? Is it something else? We don't know. And I saw a picture, and Wendy, did you see that picture? There was a heavy-set black gentleman standing right next to her. Mm-hmm. Did you see that?
I didn't see it.
And he's whispering in her ear, keep talking, da-da-da-da. And they say, who is this guy? The Secret Service didn't put their hands on people they wouldn't dare.
Right.
So this guy's got his hand on her shoulder.
While she's coughing?
Yeah, while she's talking in the middle of one of her speeches. And people are saying, who is this man? And there's some who are saying, well, it may be he's a doctor who's with her and trying to help her along. But the rumors will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are saying, we can't take the risk. And this has nothing to do with women. There's some really tough women. I'm sitting next to one right now who's getting ready to climb up Mount Everest. I am woman.
Let's clarify that. Not all the way to
halfway,
top,
all right,
to the base camp.
To the base camp at Everest. So, I mean, I couldn't get up the first 100 feet. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about a lady who apparently has got some health issues. And that's a real problem. So we'll see what happens. But it's being brought out more and more and more. And the Drudge Report had this picture of this gentleman with her with his hand on her shoulder. Who is this man? Is he a doctor? Is he a medical professional? Is he some kind of a tech? I don't know what he is, but anyhow.
The Hillary Whisperer, maybe.
The Whisperer.
I know.
Yeah. Well, they've all got whisperers. Well, anyhow, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are fighting for every vote, especially in the key swing states. And their latest is over national security.
And Trump warns that Clinton's handling of her emails disqualifies her to serve as president, while Clinton says the military can trust her, but not Trump, to be the commander-in-chief. Heather Sells has the story.
In battleground states Tuesday, Clinton and Trump made the case for their unique qualifications on national security. Their target audience, military families in key southern states.
In Virginia Beach, Trump appealed to military and retired military, blasting Hillary Clinton's foreign policy and promising better health care for veterans.
You have illegal immigrants that she wants and he wants treated better than veterans.
Trump told veterans that he would have negotiated a far better nuclear deal with Iran.
This was a deal at the highest level of incompetence. The deal with Iran.
And he said Clinton was unfit to take on Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Putin looks at her and he laughs, okay? He laughs.
It was a message the Virginia crowd appreciated.
I like his policies. He supports the military and supports going to straighten out the Veterans Administration.
We do need a CEO this time. We do not need a politician.
But in Florida, Clinton blasted Trump's relationship with veterans, reminding her audience of his give and take this summer with the Muslim parents of a slain American soldier.
His whole campaign has been one long insult to all those who've worn the uniform to protect our most cherished American values.
Clinton also said when it comes to foreign policy, Trump is a danger and a risk.
He says he has a secret plan to defeat ISIS. But the secret is he has no plan.
To further her attack on Trump's standing with veterans, Clinton has released a new ad showing veterans watching some of Trump's more provocative statements.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do.
But Clinton is still dogged by escalating questions about her emails while Secretary of State. On Tuesday, the Republican chair of the House committee investigating her emails asked a federal prosecutor to look at whether she and others working with her helped to delete thousands of them. Her ongoing email problems are likely a key reason why the race has been tightening. The latest CNN poll shows Trump topping Clinton 45 to 43%, within the margin of error, but still essentially a dead heat. Heather Sells, CBN News.
You know, something else in the news today, there was a swarm of Iraqi boats that came within 100 yards or 100 feet, I think it was, of an American military vessel in the Persian Gulf. And it's a provocation that was absolutely unacceptable according to the rules of the way in terms of navigation. And you wonder how long the Obama administration is going to cozy up to those mullahs. More and more information is coming out. I mean, the amount of money they're giving them is in cash, and now it's not just the initial payment. It's like $1 billion, $800 or $900 million, and a huge amount of money in cash delivered to the mullahs because they were short of cash, and we wanted to help them. Well, isn't that something? Well, under a President Trump, I think you would blow those little Iranian crafts out of the water. You wouldn't let them jeopardize an American military ship in the middle of international waters. You wouldn't allow that to happen. You wouldn't allow North Korea to launch several seaborne missiles into the Sea of Japan. You wouldn't allow that to happen. And the question is whether or not, by the way, Trump yesterday, I understand, released the names of 88 generals who said we prefer him as president because he's a strong leader and he's pro-military. So they're each coming up. Before that, Hillary had a group of former Republican office holders who were in the defense industry who were supporting her. So anyhow, they're going back and forth throwing generals at one another. What do you think?
Well, I think he's got to also, speaking of that, about a 19-point lead with veterans, Trump over Clinton. Trump is over Clinton. So veterans are huge for Trump.
That's a big deal. Well, he's playing it hard. He comes down here to Norfolk, Virginia Beach, which this is the military center, and this is the second military speech he's given. So he's playing it down here. Virginia used to be solid Republican. Then it became more Democrat. They say it's in play. Hillary's vice president was a governor of Virginia and a senator from Virginia, very popular guy. So we'll see what happens. But Trump's making a play for Virginia. He's not giving up on this. It's an amazing race, ladies and gentlemen. But the WikiLeaks guy says, I've got a whole lot of things I'm going to dump on you. It'll be a game changer. Well, we're still eagerly waiting, Mr. Assange, for what he's going to do next. Well, we're learning more just about how the Obama administration sent money to Iran when American hostages were released. I mentioned that earlier, and here's John with that full story.
That's right, Pat. The administration is acknowledging that the $1.7 billion given to Iran earlier this year was paid entirely in cash using non-American currency. The payment was the settlement between the U.S. and Iran of a claim that goes back decades. But Republican critics have called the payment a ransom for the release of U.S. hostages and linked it to the president's nuclear deal with Iran. Meanwhile, Iranian fast boats once again harassed a U.S. ship in the Persian Gulf. The Navy patrol boat had to take evasive action to avoid a collision. A British court has sentenced one of the UK's most famous Islamic radical preachers to 5.5 years in prison for encouraging support for ISIS. Anjan Chowdhury, one of the most well-known faces of radical Islam in Britain, was convicted in July. Authorities consider the 49-year-old as a key voice for radicalizing young Muslims. He was arrested after his name appeared on an oath in 2014, declaring the legitimacy of the Islamic Caliphate state. Chowdhury once told CBN News, Islam is not a religion of peace, and you can watch that interview on cbnnews.com. Well, here at home, the world of faith-based films continues to grow. A new romantic comedy stars some familiar names like Corbin Bernsen, Mary Lou Henner, and Chelsea Crisp. But another exciting story is the one behind this Hollywood film. As Ephraim Graham reports, it's the first from the film school at Regent University.
Lights, camera, action. Coming to a screen near you is a romantic comedy starring Mary Lou Henner, Chelsea Crisp, and Corbin Bernsen.
I was the instigator, I don't know if that's the word, a producer, and then I played a small role in it.
This was a passion project for Bernsen, and he partnered with Regent University's film school to bring In Lawfully Yours to life.
What was it about this project that made you want to get involved?
I've been very blessed to have a wonderful career. But one of the things I find and I take great pleasure in is sharing what we do with people who want to do what we do, make movies. What really drew me to the project was creating something where students could truly get involved, and I could, on a very personal level, have this relationship with this entity, Regent University, to see if we could pull it off and make a movie.
They more than pulled it off. Regent students worked alongside Hollywood heavyweights to shoot the film in Virginia, and a Regent film professor wrote the script.
You know, you leave Los Angeles and you go somewhere new and you don't know what it's going to be like. It's a different experience, and it was very exciting to go to Virginia Beach and have so many students on set because there was this general sense of excitement and joy in filming the movie.
You may recognize Chelsea Crisp for her role in the hit ABC television series Fresh Off the Boat. She plays the leading role, Jessie, in Lawfully Yours.
Sometimes you get something where the role just speaks to you and you know exactly what to do with it, and it's like putting on a pair of comfortable jeans, and that's what Jessie was like for me.
Crisp joined fellow cast members.
But we went where we needed to go, but we got there in a really fun and interesting way.
At this private screening of the film in Dallas.
You feel good when you walk out of the theater having seen it.
Mitch Land is the Dean of the School of Communication and the Arts at Regent. He's seen his students earn more than 400 film awards, including 2 Student Academy Awards. But this is the school's first feature film.
I think the Lord just put it on our hearts, but he put it on Dr. Robertson's heart at the same time. You know, I mean, this would not happen without Dr. Robertson's approval and support. So this really is a tribute to vision. And one thing that Dr. Robertson said that just inspired me so much, he said, Mitch, don't you think the curriculum ought to be connected to movie projects? It just sounded like, you know, music to my, yes.
Ephraim Graham, CBN News.
Some of those film scenes look awfully familiar. And Pat, I understand you'll be speaking with Corbin Bernsen this Friday. That's right. He'll be here in person. But Corbin's a good guy, and he's just was so excited. Mary Lou Hammer, by the way, is one of those savants. You know, you can ask her, you know, what date in 1642, you know, would the Pilgrims come over or something, and she'll tell you it was a Wednesday. I mean, that kind of
really?
thing. Oh,
wow.
yeah. She's got, I mean, I didn't have a chance to talk to her. I wanted to do it, but she was starring in this movie.
So do you have a cameo in the movie?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, heavens, no. No. I don't know if they give me a producer credit or not, but anyhow. Mitch came to me and said, can we do it? I said, yeah, go ahead and do it. Well, how much money? Well, I don't know. What do you think it's going to cost? Well, I'm not sure. Maybe $600,000. Okay, do it. You got the money? Well, we'll get it.
I love it.
It was
walking on faith right here.
There it is. But I thought the school needs to get with it. I mean, you know, there's a hunger out there for really high-quality films, and there is no reason in the world a film school like Regent University can't begin to produce really high-quality films and team up with professionals in Hollywood, so there's a marriage. Those students do need some help, and to get the professional veneer. You've got cameramen who are so skilled out in Hollywood, and we need that help. You've got editing that is so skillful, we need that help. You've got lighting directors and so forth. All those skills can come in, and when our graduates get through, they can be pros and get out and do the job and do it very inexpensively. We don't have to pay all those SAG contracts and stuff like that, you know, that some of the others do because we're nonprofit. So
it's a brilliant idea. It makes sense because, you know, the church down in Georgia, in Albany, Georgia, they made several movies down there, the Kendrick brothers, on like budgets of like $100,000.
Unbelievable what they did. And the church secretaries and the business managers were playing in the movies, and they wrote the scripts. I mean, it was brilliant. Okay.